Twin turbo. Look at that. Yeah, you're welcome, Ben. Look at that little S10. Motor in USA. Sound warning.
This time
9.6 and 8.8.
Not going together. It's your time and your time. You're faster. He goes first. You know.
Oh, beat him by 0.22. Yeah.
Can't tell. That's the winner.
Beat him by 0.22. Oh, we got drag bikes coming up. I know. That big old fucking Hoosier on there. Look at that. Look at that dangle. He ain't fucking playing. Yeah, when the cowl is bigger than the truck.
1200 and slower. 1200 and slower. As Cameron Keller, father and son, are testing this Dodge Dakota truck. As the bike train behind, the jet will be coming up here in just a bit at 1200 and slower. Welcome back to the public address system here at Firebird. My good friend and yours, all the way from Ballarat, Victoria, Australia. Welcome back, David Wade.
G'day Scott, and yeah, fabulous to be back to Firebird Raceway. Started the stop meet pretty well late Thursday night when we arrived. had a wander around Friday and Melbourne. It'll be going off in about 10 minutes, I reckon.
Doing a tune-up run.
What up, Cameron Clark?
142 miles an hour. And he let off.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they said it was their practice run.
So how was the trip? You're on the plane for like eternity, aren't you?
Just a lazy 14.5 hours.
Serious?
Yeah.
Do you sleep half the time, or what do you do?
Drink first, then sleep, then eat, then drink, then sleep, then eat.
Is there any opportunity to flirt with the stewardess? I'm not sure if I'm even supposed to ask that.
Well, there's opportunities. 14.5 hours.
Yeah, that's a long time being on the plane, and it's all the same people. They don't
That's right.
They don't get off at any point, right?
No, there's no stops. I think they're allowed to have a rest, but they come back up and serve the next meal and whatever alcohol or drinks that you need to keep you going for the 14.5 hours. So. Come over on the Flying Kangaroo, Qantas Airlines. They always look after us. Not that time to fly at the moment. There's some budget deals going around. So if you've got any thoughts,
So we do need a tow. Oh, sorry, David, just one sec. We just need a tow. We need a tow here at the starting line. So somebody's got a quad or a golf cart that's got a tow strap. We actually have a strap. And if somebody could help one of our friends from Canada that needs a tow back to their pit area, please come down to the starting line.
That guy? Stuck up there?
Yeah.
Street cars.
There we go.
Good looking street cars.
but that's the Lincoln 90 tow.
We let Australians in here. We'll let him remember all these people that feel like the sport of drag racing.
Wow, that's right. And
We're all good with that.
it's been a great event today. Like, a bit chilly this morning, but you can turn it on now. It's nice out there.
So where do you spend the night?
The Firebird cool, which is...
Not too many people know about that.
No.
You're one of the few that gets to stay at the Hilton here at the Raceway.
Yeah, I see that you put some sticky stuff down on the concrete.
Fuck.
Proud to be a member of our military, and look at him going.
8-7.
That thing was hooking and crooking.
8-7.
968, the other lane. Did you see yourself riding a motorcycle like this thing that you used to?
I struggle riding close to the motorbike. 770. I do think scared. I mean, let's go half track. I don't think the arms are long enough to hang on.
Yeah,
Well, that's being a guy
That Charger is sexy.
really into Model A's of all shapes and sizes that produce what? Do they get over 100 horsepower when you go out on the dry lanes or whatever?
We got ours up to 100 horsepower.
Total of 100 horsepower is a 4-cylinder?
Yeah, from original 40 horsepower, we got it to 100 mile an hour on a salt lake.
Oh, we got the Harley and the
We got all
Ninja.
kinds of motorcycles here. I assume, being stupid as I am, that they do have motorcycles in Australia, right?
They're right-hand drive. That's it.
Don't listen to you. Such a comedian.
You asked
Yeah, me. I know.
You asked
Stupid question. We'll fire it up with a stupid answer. Just for me.
Yeah,
There's more Stags guys here than any swap meet we've ever had. And there's got mean, someone back at the hotel or whatever, but there's, I mean, Greg Ward came here this morning. He's one of the elite judges in the International Show Car Association. Greg's judged for us for years and years. I'm guessing Jerry Fulmer's here. I know Dale Hammond's here. Rob's here. He had his cool-looking Chevrolet sedan at our Roadster show this year. Yeah. Another DJ Burke. Gone very fast on the Salt.
He bought his little pickup, I think, was two pickups.
That's right. Very
10-4.
Yeah, they didn't just trailer them up here, did they?
Drove them. Yeah.
One of them had a flathead motor, drove it all 6 hours or whatever it took to get from Auckland to here.
Those Utonians just can't believe what they do.
Listen to you.
We were trying to work out what to call them. That's the best I could come up with last night.
So let all of you know that buttoning things up with the Jet Funny car. It will be headed this way just shortly. I was talking to Brian Smith. They're way down in the Valley pit area, kind of the overflow pit area that gets used for all of our racers at this event because the swap meet takes so much real estate. We've now got the majority of the racers, some on the west fence, but the majority of them are all down in the Valley pit area, including the Jet Funny car. The Jet normally parks in the upper pit area in front of the prime time, but this weekend it's all swap meet vendors.
Amazing. Like, not only you put on a great swap meet, plus a car show and the drags, and now you're bringing out the marshmallow cooker. This is fabulous.
And I would assume, I think you and I talked about this before, but you haven't shared it with everybody. You've been to swap meets literally everywhere around the world. I mean, one of the big ones, obviously last weekend in Portland's one of the biggest in the country, just like Hershey and Carlisle back east, and you've many times been at the LA Roadster swap meet. It's one of the crown jewel swap meet events. But have you, other than Firebird, have you been anywhere that has a swap meet, commingled with a car show, and a day of cars going down a quarter mile?
I know, I keep looking back here.
Not in Australia, not anywhere.
No, they wouldn't even try it. But no, the combo that you put together here is just fabulous. It's entertainment for all people, all families, and there's something to do for everyone. And it's just a fabulous place to come along and enjoy. And as I said, if you get a bit tired from the swap meet, you come over this side of the grandstand and you get to see some good old racing.
Well, I think that's what people do, right? You walk and walk and walk, and after you walk for a couple of hours, you might want to take a break. And we got nice basements under the trees when the trees sprout with all their leaves in a few weeks or whatnot. But cramming, you walk 25 feet, you're in the grandstands watching with everybody else, all this cool equipment going down the quarter.
There's nothing more pleasurable than picking up a little lady door, checking out the condition, and hearing the roar of a small block Chevy on the start line.
So what have you been out there, Treasure, trying to find something to put in a container that's going to get on a ship and take a couple of months to get home, right? Have you found a few things here?
Yeah, we had a bit of luck at Portland, so I bought some big stuff there. And
spent all your money and you're now broke, or
well, I needed little stuff to fill the gaps, so there's no sense shipping air back to Australia, so I bought small stuff that I can fill the container.
So I would assume this container costs a fair amount of money. And so to make sense of things, you don't want to have half of it empty when you ship it.
So now we find all the little stuff to try and fill the gaps. And at the moment the container's about $20,000 Australian to get it landed, so we try and squeeze 4 cars in, and plus lots of parts. Fill up the cars and then fill all the gaps around it and make it worthwhile so that it's like Christmas when it gets home. So remember all the good times we had buying and stuff. We've got a couple of late model cars here, the F-150.
Bro, it's a 50-year-old pickup truck.
Up against Dodge Challenger.
Well, that fellow in the left lane, Dave, drives 2-3 hours for every one of our street truck events out of Nevada. He just loves
That
truck.
F-150 just fucking whooped that Camaro.
A nice 1290 there for Sarah, 110 miles an hour. Not bad for a late model challenge there.
I'll check that out. It's not every day you can come to a dragster.
Look at the
jet money car.
look at it coming down there, sneaking down past all the cars.
Usually you'll see two people.
Yeah.
Just to wait down. Oh, look at this shit towing in. The white truck. Towing.
Stock bud? Already has stage 1. Well, what is stage 1? Stage 1 is like a 5-puck. Oh, carbon. Yeah, you probably. Have you ever
It's not like nothing.
You've seen a jet
Compared to
before,
the other
right?
cars.
Yeah.
It's been a little while.
It's been a while. Over here once to night fire. Most jets and that I've ever seen, but
A full-blown experience.
yeah, we had one or two.
Yeah, that beamer was slow.
Two around Australia for a while, but some fun it does.
Pickup truck lost.
So you're out there or still wander in the swamp, you want to be entertained at the next level. This jet car is going to excite you next. Well workable. Grab a drink, grab some food, maybe head over towards the track. Won't be too long, they'll come around and they'll put on a bit of a show for us. Runs a nice 11:35, or sorry, 11:13, 100 miles an hour. A sticker for her, 100 mile an hour sticker, if she hasn't got one already. This is something we don't normally see at home. There's a couple of pickups running against each other.
That is not normal.
Well, most of them we don't have these big size pickups. And if we do, they're normally too heavy to want a drag race. So
More commercial type.
yeah, but I love it. Come to Idaho and everyone's in pickups.
So if you're walking through the pits, like David just said, you're still shopping, you can go back to shopping, but if you want to see a jet car, especially at the starting line show, you might start making your way to a grandstand seat because it's not every day of the week. We've had a few alcohol funny cars that have run at the spring swap meet, and Jack Harris ran one year with his front motor top fuel car, but I can't even remember in 31 years if we ever had a jet running a swap meet. Not to my recollection. Not as long as you've been coming either.
Well, I'm starting to get an inkling that maybe you put this on especially for me.
Yeah.
Just to celebrate the
Comes all the way from Australia, and we're just going to treat him to a little warm-up, a little spring warm-up.
Chad there in the Mustang on the grandstand side at 1226 up against 1273 on the tower side, 104 mile an hour against Chad's 114.
Single. Going by himself. I bet he wins. Yeah.
Oh.
They both sound a little good.
So another couple of pickups
What up,
here.
Chevy's
Got
mama?
the Chevy on the tower side up against the Ute, as we call them at home.
11.8.
He came out the gate like a rocket.
Yeah, he did.
That's nice right here, man.
So here we have the battle of the late model Dodge against Ford. Mustang running without a bonnet today. I'd say that looks like a big turbo hanging out the front. I don't have names on these, but
Oh, what happened? There you go.
Mustang, nice manual car.
Yeah.
Sound of it, it's running through. Pretty nice 1207 up against the 1287 against the 1230. Both over 110 miles an hour. Nice one.
You see, once you got it, he did.
Yeah. Close it down.
Wonder if they're gonna clean it for that jet car.
I don't know. Jet cars are badass.
Yeah, it's right there.
Is that the jet car?
Yeah,
Oh, it is?
yeah.
So we've got Pam
Look at the
Lockman
turbine.
out of Boise. I said no, but that was a Dodge. So
What up, sweet mom?
not sure if we've got that number right, but
Little
a
fucking.
bit of a red light, but that doesn't matter in time trials. Runs through for 1348 at 107 miles an hour. Another nice run.
It's still not slow.
So here it is, folks. We've cleared the area for the moment, and pretty soon we'll have the Pyromaniac coming around.
Yeah.
Going to put on a bit of a show for you guys out there, and girls.
All by himself?
Jet car.
All by himself? Huh?
Yep.
Oh, you can see the turbine. Huh?
What up, Cowboy Muse? Brought my pops out to the races, swap meet today.
David Wade will be coming back after a bit, so they'll push the Pyromaniac around. Like I said, if you're out meandering through the pits and you're going to hear something the equivalent of which you think you're at the Boise International Airport, but in fact you're here at Firebird, you're wondering what's going on, just mosey over to the grandstands. Here's your opportunity.
Oh, look at that goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Whew. It's a fucking rocket.
It
Yeah, no
smells
problem,
like
Dusty.
cocaine without it going by.
I know.
Smell that fuel without the fuel.
Smells
So
like he's
gearing up everything as we
baking
clear out
burnt
some of the
cookies.
things on the starting line that could actually lift up off the ground and head back towards the retaining wall. In the olden days, we used to have a
Yeah, he finally got his shirts. They sent him to the wrong city, so it got sent back. I had to resend it for him.
we'd have a wood fence at the starting line, and there was a few times when some of the really intense fire shows lit the fence on fire. But then 2010, we built a new race control tower, and we put a concrete wall behind the starting line, which made it way
burn the
nicer.
fence
We never
down.
had to replace the wood anymore.
Remember when we used to come out when we first moved up here?
Yeah. It's fucking miserable. Unless you go into the night fire races, it's fucking miserable out here. Sitting on this tin can.
Oh, yeah.
The summer heat, 117.
Richard
No
Smith's
shade.
been doing this a long time, all the way back to the early 80s when he first came here from Lenexa,
Anything else, like
Kansas. He ran a
boating?
top alcohol double B funny
Anything
car at the
outside?
time.
Yeah, I just stay in the shade.
And today he lives in Bend, Oregon, has been big into the
Still
horse
staying outside.
industry.
Hoodie on. In the
And
shade.
we acclaimed him a few years ago, the
Huh?
Junior All-Stars, a very
Still like
special
this.
Hall
I
of
know.
Fame type of award that we present to a professional driver each and every year at the Night Fire or the Igniter. Steve Cluck put this car together literally from scratch, and it is based out of Nampa. Yep, it's an Idaho jet funny car they call
Idaho, from
Pyromaniac.
Napa.
Now, if you've never seen a jet before, you're in for an absolute thrill. They may just take it a few hundred feet down the track, or if Richard feels good, he may run it a little further. It's all up to them, but you'll get to see the full starting line show. And this thing typically will run either kerosene or diesel. And this is one of the
Yeah, Chevy's mama. I live in
copies
the
or
high desert.
an actual
so
motor that came out of an airplane.
It snows in the winter
Literally,
and
a jet
it is
plane
really
car,
fucking
quite
hot
different
in
than
the
a jet
summer.
dragster. You know, we've had a little
there's
bit
no
of each over
shade
the years,
here.
and this one is
At the track.
quite aerodynamic. But the interesting
You gotta
part
hide
about this
behind
car
buildings.
is that the driver sits right next to the jet engine. I mean, it is actually right by your elbow.
Yeah.
Remember, this is just testing, so they know they can't go out on the street, the city street, and test it. They can't test it in the pit area. So it's a matter of doing the things that they need to do. And so it's a bit of a process here. It's been 5 months since they've run this car, so it's a warm-up.
They don't really blow up like that, though. Yeah, but they don't really blow up like that, though. Most of them have Yeah, I don't think it matters whether it's in front or behind. I think it's dead.
See, that's what airplanes do. You don't hear it.
Yeah.
That's actually scary if you heard it. I think if you're in there, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Shrapnel, and then you get
Truck.
you dying of sepsis in the year 2025? That's crazy. Rotating gangrene in the year 2025, like in the English peasant.
So this is why they're here testing, and so they will think through all the steps that they've made, and it's quite a process. Just like with an engine, you know, you put a brand new engine into your car. Does it work perfect every time? Sometimes it does, but sometimes you got to go spend time on a dyno, or you got to do this or do that. Sometimes it just sounds quite like it was supposed to, and I have no clue what I'm even talking about. It disconnects the aircraft starter, hooks to a series of batteries, and plugs in ready to put the body down. So it looks like we're gonna have a performance here, my friend.
You can see the glass. Six two. 6'2".
6'2". Oh, yeah, 6'2".
247 miles an hour.
Well,
About
what do
blew
you
my
think,
fucking
race
eardrums
fans?
out.
Unbelievable.
Yeah!
What a tip of the hat. I thought they were going to go 200 feet and click it. They go 6:24, 2:47. You've just witnessed the fastest run of 2025 by probably about 60 miles an hour. Oh my. Tip of the hat to the Cluck family. And
Yeah.
Richard Smith.
Yeah, this one's gonna be real slow, guys.
Talk about put on a show on the starting line. That was afterburner on steroids.
That was so fucking cool.
It was.
That whole building wall and glass was
you just lost, my friends. The quickest run they've ever made in that car in Firebird Raceway. What a pass. Just incredible. What a run. Into the headwind and all. I mean, we're 15, 20 mile an hour headwind, and it still went almost 250 miles an hour. And David Wade coming back from reality And David, what do you think of that? Man, they talk about knock your ear drums out. Wow.
My record just come back right up.
Yeah, wow.
Back of my throat. Hot damn, what some mighty fine burning and kicking and thumping, and that just rattles the rib cage.
We're what, like 70 feet away?
And the mellows are ready for that show.
Yeah, like 70 feet away, maybe.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, again, Richard is the ultimate showman. You could go watch 20 jets around the country and you will never see the afterburner pops that Richard, I don't know how he does it, but he's in there banging on
60
some button.
feet away.
And it's just force feeding fuel, or it's doing something that causes all of those burner pops. It just absolutely, I mean, you just feel your heart. You're like, God, I hope this thing goes straight. You only got a 20-mile-an-hour headwind. It's hard enough to drive in your 80-mile-an-hour rig, right? Let alone going almost 250.
Yeah, buddy.
And let alone a jet pushing. It's not like as if there's a motor.
Well, and I've talked
control.
I know, and jet guys have always told me, you know, the G-force going down the track is one thing, but can you imagine when the chutes hit at 247 with a 20-mile-an-hour headwind? It's like trying to pull you out of the restraining belts, right?
Yep. There goes breakfast for sure. No, I'd say the boys over at Mountain Home would have been ears pricked up when they heard that.
That's right. Mountain Home and our air base that's here, and of course all the Stags guys, many of them work at Hill Air Force Base down just outside of Ogden, Utah, so plenty of pride represented from the United States of America and our military as the red, white, and blue flag flying proudly here today at Firebird. What a beautiful day. I'm just so glad the sun came out. It makes racing, and it's just so much more comfortable, even with the wind. Heck, we'll take anything that's dry. You've been here when it's not dry, right? It's not that much fun.
I remember 20 years ago sitting on a surfboard in a puddle that was about 3 feet deep up near the top concessions. So yeah, it's been wet some days. We used to stay out at Hopkins, and Mark and I were there one year, and it started raining about 1:30 and didn't stop the whole day. But we still swapped, bought stuff, had fun,
Drank a beer too.
drank a beer, slept like a baby, did all that stuff.
We're going to put the rotator drag, the big John Deere tractor that's got 4 top fuel tires on the back of it that turn backwards, that just totally light up the concrete surface with rubber. Or is the man that helps manage our entire rotator assembly. It takes quite an effort just to change all the tires off the bead locks and put on new tires. And a set of tires now costs just shy of to run the cars, it's expensive to run the race car, the racetrack, but everybody's aware of that, and we make it all work, and everybody loves our sport of drag racing that is recognized around the country and around the world. Firebird Raceway is known coast to coast. I mean, 57 years. We've been put a 57 Chevy on our art design this year for 57 years strong. Pretty amazing, right, David?
Absolutely amazing, yeah. It's part of the Idaho history, and any of the new young guys getting it out, they've all heard of Firebird Raceway, and at some stage they're going to get out here.
I had to answer a text, bro.
Participate, swap, and have some fun with the whole crew out here.
farming.
At Firebird.
Yeah. Green light, go. It's going to take him a while to get there.
Well, you guys know my dad quite well, the late Bill knew that he owned this racetrack and was the original Hot Rod member, the first president in 1953 of the Bootleggers Car Club. Couldn't get in the gear jammers because they had their 12 people, so he and Ron Hahn, who today just went to lunch with my mom this last week of all things, is reacquainted. You know, my mom's 86 today, and Ron Hahn, my dad's original friend from 1953, he is still with us to this day. 97. Pretty incredible to have had a 36 Ford Chop Carson Top Roadster that competed on Gallant Field Road. My dad had a 32 three-window coupe It was chopped by Bernie Green, ran a flathead motor with 3 Strongbirds, and Dad always bragged that he was the first guy in Idaho in '53 to run a percentage of nitromethane in the tank. He never got to 100 miles an hour, but boy, he said that thing could run 84, almost 85 miles an hour. And a quarter mile, that's pretty fast in the early 50s.
That's record-breaking stuff, and even now, like the guys that testing and experimenting. Lit up the streets of Idaho.
What's that?
Put a tear in the eye of the guys behind.
That's like
Yeah, no question. Camaro. Let's go ahead and kick the lanes
Yeah.
open to 10
That's the
flat to
ugly catfish
11.99.
Camaro.
10 flat to 11.99. To the staging lanes, please. 10 flat to 11.99. You're up for section number 3.
10
We're going to try to do this as many times as we can. My goal is to break what we did last week, but we'll wait and see. Hopefully everything goes nice and smooth. We can just keep whistling cars down this racetrack. I guarantee you everybody. How it goes as these two going down through. Let David call them over the action.
15, 13.
Yeah, all right, guys. So we've got new versus old this time.
2 views.
Grandstand side. Big old cleanup by look. Nice lights at 529. Run through for a 1383. Oh, sorry, a 1649.
He's bragging. He says he can do a 13. That's his number. If he goes over that, he loses.
Oh, shit.
Can't buy.
You love seeing these regular drivers come in and then come out and race here. Obviously got a great point
I know
system
Frank
to the
Twist will be
challenges and stuff
Maybe
like
we'll
that.
get it with that one.
A lot of these guys and girls,
Get him fucking
members of
just
the club,
wheelie
they're out
up.
here and they're practicing today, but once the
Definitely not
points
happening
start,
with this one.
I'll be at regular events gaining points to head towards a club championship. So they're all about today trying to run consistent numbers, working out what they're going to run for the rest of the season. That's run through a nice 12.24 at 130 miles an hour for the drive. It's the 1596 grandstand one. So that was Dakota Buchanan out of Boise, guys for 300. Yeah, we did that crossing the line.
He's still spinning, look at him.
If you're not matched up against the right cars at the right time or no handicaps at the moment, crossing that line first is a great feeling. Okay, just attention out there, we need a tow at the top end if anyone's available. If your racer hasn't come back and you can help jump in there, but if there's someone else
Where's that truck?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't
Yeah, Teddy Mag, what's up, bud?
So I've got a nice little patina Chevy pickup in the grandstand lane up against my Firebird. Don't have names, sorry. 93 at 84 miles an hour. So pick them up and
I
try.
guess if you want to keep going more power back. And then if we're revving at high speed.
But the beauty I see over here is the store's open to everyone. Young guys, young girls, mums and dads, grandpas and grandmas are all out here running. Family sports in a lot of stages. And great to see them. Have some fun, have a bit of racing, have a laugh, and enjoy your whole family entertainment out here for the day. Got the nice 12-second passes there. 12.21 on the grandstand side, 109 miles an hour against the 12.73, 107 miles an hour on the tower side.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone through the swap meet area that sold me some Monterey parts and come and chatted. I've got a couple of names there to follow up in the next week or the next trip over here where I can go and have a look at a few more options. I saw a lot of people carrying parts and stuff out there, so I wasn't the only one that got entertained. Satisfied in finding something to buy at the swap meet. It's got me thinking that they've ever had before, especially when they add the drag and the show cars and take one before. It was fabulous. So here's proof of the pudding here, it'll be done. So the day we drive the work car, maybe shopping, a bit of a run up against the
Yeah, it did, huh?
I rode a little Mustang 15 the other day.
Yeah, there's that wagon.
1470 at 99.80 miles an hour. Just shy of his 100 mile an hour sticker for today. What a great run. How's that? You can get a production car on the 1470s at 100 mile an hour. Driving back home and go to work the next day.
Yeah, it's a. Oh, that's an extra.
Big old wagon here. It looks like the Griswold family truck stuff.
Yeah, slow, but yeah, they don't.
1227 for the vet and 117, and the old wagon 1608 at 83 miles an hour. Yeah, Harry Ryan station wagon at 83 miles an hour, so you get to see everything around, big panoramic view. Good to see it out here. Beauty is that there's no rules, we actually want to find the car, you want to drive, and they're all fit in. All around there's advantages with disadvantages in their shape,
Yeah.
slipperiness.
He had to jump it to get it to the track.
And if you play with different engines, you can make even a square box there pretty fast.
See that, man.
Wagon,
Look at him right there.
109 miles an hour for 1213 against the 111 and 1248 on this side.
Yeah, all of that, all like CRV.
We're going to have a lot of American modern cars at home, the Australian market is influenced largely now by the Japanese and Chinese cars that are coming in.
Like 12-7.
Trees are out there, plenty of ride on the freeway next one.
I think that Julie only has one tire of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Up against the 74 car. Like Dennis is leading out of Star Idaho for a 1481 at 89 miles an hour.
What up, Davey? I'm down at the racetrack. Brought my dad out for the day. Watch some races, go to the swap meet.
Back home in Australia, we had a GM-based vehicle called a Holt. GM American. Really running cars, especially designed for Australian roads, pretty rugged. We still don't have the freeway running around. Get about an hour out of most countries back to roads. We've got a big curve and not many roads, there's a dust road. Most people live around the coast line of Australia, still in the middle. There's a big gap between fair effort if you want to go out and visit. There's a couple of modern cars here on the line. Front wheel drive, maybe a Honda. Look at these little cars, really fun. Pretty nice. 1284 miles an hour. 1393 at 99 miles an hour. Tower side.
Oh, we got some big dogs coming out.
Nice Chevy El Camino, which we had a similar style car made by Holston, they were called Duke. Right there in Randall Parade, I think it's nice and easy to get to the rear end and play with it, set up for racing. You get a cut up good cars. We've got two El Caminos running here, same year, but looks like the tail off. 7, 8, 6 or 7 models. Black El Camino and a 1208, 112 miles an hour for the tower side. Brent Fitch was in the 64 El Camino.
down low. That's the running.
Get back into the box after
They break that thing. Can't lie.
I said earlier, I made
This truck's gonna be a good one.
cars, 9.99 and quicker, quarter mile to the lanes, please. 6.39 and quicker, 8 miles to the lanes. Run number 3.
Okay, I'm gonna set it